Nosebleed is a psychic horror sci-fi comic that involves two kids, Reggie and Tilda, finding these pills out in the Wissahickon, taking them and gaining psychic abilities, and using those psychic abilities to get revenge for their friend Gary, who got bullied into a coma. And that's like the main drive of the story, but then it's also about the consequences of revenge and the consequences of actions and the ripple effect of your actions and what can happen basically from trying to kind of do right. And then it's kind of like another like kind of moral question of it is like, what is right? Because like technically these kids are getting revenge, but they're doing it really horribly, and then the people that they're affecting are going to want revenge for that. So it's really kind of like this ping pong back and forth of who's right, who's wrong, and what, and like kind of like the meaning of revenge. The hardest parts of drawing Nosebleed was just like kind of like the mental stuff, the mental side of it. You know, and Max Holloway talks about like when you make it to the UFC, there's nothing different from a prospect to a champion. The only thing different is that it's all mental. And because he was just like, yeah, you're already in the UFC, like it's just mental from here on out. Like that's the only difference. It's like who's willing to go the distance mentally more than physically. So I've noticed a lot of times like when I'm working on comics, like my brain is just like, you suck, like your comic sucks, no wonder no one reads this, like you suck, you can't draw, like you're a terrible artist, like you're bad at drawing. Like I get that like a lot, and I'm like having to battle that so much while I'm drawing, and that's probably like the hardest one. So the last chunk of this book, I've had to really just kind of get it done myself, and I've learned, the things that I've learned with that is that I work really well with a deadline. Like I'll work my ass off if there's like a deadline, especially if it's a deadline that's like, hey, like you're in control of everything. It needs to just get done at this time. Like I learned that I will knock that out of the fucking park. Doesn't matter how much I'm getting paid, I'll knock it out. But when all that went away, that was when it was really like, oh man, like I'm using like a lot of willpower now to get this thing done. And that's been like the trickiest part of getting like the last like 20 pages done, because our blog had ceased operation around page 20. And then I also got a call from Nick being like, hey man, like I don't know, like, you know, I'm stepping down from Reptile House, and that was around like page 21. And so that was hard. That was really hard to kind of deal with. It was just like, dang, like the rug got kind of pulled out from under me, and I really had to just pull it together and you know, just be like, how bad do you want this thing done, you know? So luckily it got done. I went to Paris and I came back and I had about 15 pages left to do, and I had 15 days left of July, and I was like, I want to be done drawing Nosebleed, like the guts of Nosebleed 3 by August 1st, and I did it. And so that's what a lot of this footage is going to be from. It was tough. It was really tough, but yeah, I got it done. This whole book was really dedicated to finding like a consistent style and an approach to making comic books. For me, especially as like the writer and the artist, like I really wanted to kind of get this simplified style down that would be easy for me to like bang out pages, but also it would be really like when a gory moment would happen, I really wanted that to pop. So that's why I kind of simplified. I tried to really go for this kind of like streamlined, kind of almost cutesy style of drawing that kind of harkens back to my early influences of like, you know, it's like a really like indie comic kind of look. Yeah, that's been like the easiest part. Is just kind of like I know that a lot of my style now is just straights versus curves, and just implementing that into each page is kind of like, okay, cool, I can sit down and kind of bang out a page. My friend confessed she passed the test and we will never sever. Days dawning, skins crawling. Days dawning, skins crawling. Days dawning, skins crawling. Yeah, like obviously everybody wants their book or their story or whatever artwork they're working on to be seen and you know, liked by a bunch of people. So I mean, it's pretty high up there on that list. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, like wanting validation for your work. With comics, man, I mean, it's so much of you spending so much time alone and being alone and toiling away and just really cranking this stuff out. And sometimes, man, you're not really guaranteed like any reaction to your work. And I think it takes a really strong person to be able to just be like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care. I just like making comics. I see being a black comic book artist is like a lot of work. A lot of work. I feel like as a black artist, you have to be at the top of your game, and all the time. I feel like you have to work way harder than anyone else. I don't, you know, I just feel like that, you know, like I haven't had race play too much into my line of work. It used to happen a lot more. Like I used to kind of get hit up to draw, like, you know, stories from black writers that had never really made a comic, or do stuff like that. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing this just because I'm black and they're black. Like, we're gonna make a shitty book that no one's gonna read. Like, you know, there's a lot of us and there's not. Like, you know, like there's like Sanford Green, who like has been awesome for like forever. Like has been awesome since forever, and only I feel like in the last like 5 years maybe now he's like seen widely as awesome. And it's like, no, dude, like you can go back to Sanford Green's deviant art from like 2015. He was doing dope shit. Like he's been dope. I definitely feel like as a black artist, like I feel like a responsibility, but I also don't really feel like a responsibility to make like black creations or anything like that. And I kind of strive away from that stuff. I mean, Nosebleed has racial elements in it. I kind of like to I feel like it's better to kind of tackle that subject matter in a story rather than, you know, as like a Facebook post or an Instagram post or something. And I also don't really like necessarily need to see like a black version of a character that I like or anything like that. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I guess Black Vegeta's cool. I don't know. Closing words. My advice to artists out there that are, you know, struggling right now: make friends. Make friends. Support your friends, either by buying their stuff or just like reposting for your friends. Comment on your friends' stuff. Really big up your friends. Really champion your friends. You know, don't worry about the audience part. Like, worry about your homies. Like, really try to just have friends. Because it's really lonely doing this crap, and it doesn't have to be at all. Like, don't make it lonely. Don't be this lonely weirdo. Because you're gonna give up. If you have your friends there that are gonna help you, that are gonna be like, don't give up, motherfucker. Come on, keep going. Yeah, your friends are really important to sustaining an art practice. And then other than that, you know, just keep going, man. Just keep making art. Keep trying. Yeah. I'd like to thank my buddy Eric Freitas. I'd like to thank Nancy, my editor, my boy Kyle for lettering the first 2 Nosebleed books. I want to thank Nick at Reptile House. I want to thank Daniel Warren Johnson for friendship and guidance. I want to thank my buddy Tyrell Cannon for friendship and guidance. The Comics People guys, Nick Forker and Michael Shea Wright. I want to thank Art Blog for sponsoring like the first 2 years. Shout out to Roberto. It's my heart. I want to thank my sweet, lovely partner, Marcel O'Connor, for just putting up with me and, you know, living with me through all this crazy art making, and my sweet cat, Thanos. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and Nude Terrestrial and Pat Alicia, yeah, the homies, the Philly homies for sure. Alright, I think that's it.